So whether you sell B2C, business to consumer, or B2B, business to business, this training is going to help you drastically, all right? So today I'm going to give you 7 different questions that will trigger your prospect to go below the surface instead of staying surface level with you, okay? So I'm going to give you 7 top questions to help you go below the surface. That's going to trigger the prospect to want to open up more, go below the surface, and tell you what's really going on. Then I'm going to show you off of those 7 questions from their answers how to then clarify their answers and probe deeper so they feel more pain. Okay, that builds more of a gap, because the more pain you get them to feel, the more gap you build from where they are compared to where they want to be, the more likely they are going to purchase your solution because they want to run away from that pain and actually solve it. And I actually have a whiteboard, I'm going to draw over. I'm going to pull over here in a second. First of all, go down to the bottom of this video, hit the subscribe button. That's probably important for you. Hit the subscribe button, and to the right of that, or maybe the left, I don't know, somewhere in there, there's like a little bell. That's your notifications button. Hit the notifications button as well so you get notified by YouTube every time I post a new training video, which I typically do 2 to 4 times a week. All right, so let's start here. 7 questions, all right? I'm going to have Blake bring over the thing over here in just about 2 minutes. 2 minutes, all right? All right, so I'm going to give you preferences. Okay, so let's start off here. Here's the first thing that we need to understand. When we only ask what are called surface level questions, okay, you know what I'm talking about. Your prospect, just so you understand psychologically, will never open up to you and actually tell you the truth of what is really going on, what the real problems are, what the root cause of the problems, and how those problems are affecting them. And why won't they open up to you? It's because the questions you've been forced to learn by the gurus, or maybe your company. It's not your fault. I was forced to learn them in the beginning. The questions you've been taught to ask, most of them, not all of them, actually trigger the very sales resistance that you're trying to avoid. And then what happens? Your prospect emotionally, as you know, shuts down. Okay? And when they shut down, what do they typically do at the end of that first call, second call, however long your sales process is, whether you sell B2C or B2B? They say things like, I need to think it over. I need to get more quotes. I need to keep looking at other vendors and companies. I need to do more research. This sounds good, but it's not a good time for me. Call me back in a few months. I'll get back to you if we're interested. I need to talk with my spouse. I need to talk with the board, my business partners. I need to talk with my uncle who's a financial advisor. I need to talk with my aunt who lives in a van down by the river, right? You're always going to get those objections because you couldn't get the prospect to open up and tell you the truth of what's really going on. I'm not saying the surface of what's going on. I'm saying below the surface of what's going on. If we can't learn how to do that, we are going to get all those objections consistently, and we're going to lose sales that our clients who are in the same industry you're in are selling left and right, like easy right and left-handed layups if they're right-handed, all right? So let's do this. Now, when they do that, what they do is they commoditize you, and then you try to typically offer them some type of discount, which most of them still won't go for that, and then you end up losing it, okay? So that is something you want to avoid, all right? Now, how do you get your prospects? Let's skip a part here. I actually made some notes for you. So how to get your prospects to expand their answers for them to bring out more pain and emotion? How do you get them to relive the pain? And how do you do that? Those are called expanded NEPQ probing questions. Make sure you write that down, expanded NEPQ probing questions. And then after you ask expanded probing questions, you then have to clarify their answers and then probe even deeper. So I'm going to give you some various examples of how to do that, all right? So this is the first one, all right? This is a very easy one. Everybody should know this. I'm going to start giving you some easy ones first, and I'm going to give you some more ninja NEPQ expanded probing questions after that. So the first one is, let's say the prospect tells you something, maybe a problem they have, and you would simply say, oh, hold on, tell me more about that. Or when you said blank, can you tell me more about that? See, that's an easy one. That's a basic one. Everybody should already know that. Good Lord, that's been around for 50 years, right? It's just a powerful way to get your prospect to expand their problems that they bring up from your questions. Now, here's another one, okay? Let's say that you're trying to find out the company's decision-making process. Most salespeople say, well, besides you, who would be involved in this decision? And most people shut down because pretty much every salesperson asks them that same question. Once again, you don't want to sound like everybody else that's tried to sell them for the last 10, 15, 20 years because they just think you like everybody else, all right? So you want to relanguage it. So this is called an NEPQ lead-in phrase. Can you walk me through? So write that down. Sally, can you walk me through your company's decision-making process when it comes to solving challenges like this? Can you walk me through your company's decision-making process when it comes to solving problems like this? All right. Jaden Johnson, coaching of girls funded my second, so that's solid and funny. There you go, Justin. I saw you comment the other day. All right, so let's go to the next one. Those are pretty basic. I just gave you some basic ones right there, right? Can you walk me through? So even if the prospect says in the meeting that they are the only decision maker, you obviously never take that at face value if you sell B2B. I can assure you of that, because there are always other influencers that are going to influence that decision even if they can't make the decision, all right? So it sounds way better than saying, are you the only decision maker, all right? You want to be able to navigate through the organization if you sell B2B. Now, you wouldn't ask that question if you sold B2C. It wouldn't make any sense. In the 4 industries I sold in my 17-year career, 2 of them were B2C, 2 of them were B2B, okay? You would only use that question for B2B. All right, now let me give you another example here, all right? So they say something like some type of issue or problem. You want them to expand that, so this is another NEPQ lead-in phrase. Can you give me a specific example? Can you give me a specific example so I understand that better? Oh, the company that was here, they didn't ship the XYZ widgets for 6 weeks. Okay, well, hold on, walk me back. Can you give me a specific example so I understand that better? Well, yeah, 3 weeks ago, see, I'm helping them relive the pain. Now, that's not the only thing we do. That's the tip of the iceberg, asking that expanded probing question. After we do that, we're then going to clarify off more of the pain they say, and then we're going to probe again. I'm going to show you that example in a minute, all right? We're just getting warmed up. All right, here's another one, all right? Because pain is good for you and them, because what does it do? The more pain you can help them feel, the more urgency they have to want to move away from that pain and actually solve that pain and get what they want, all right? Now, here's another one, okay? Here's an NEPQ lead-in phrase, okay? Can you go over with me? Can you go over with me what you might be looking for when considering a company, just so I understand? Okay? Can you go over me, or can you walk me through? Those are different ways you can ask that. Can you go over with me what you might be looking for when choosing a company to work with? Can you go over with me? All right? Now, let's talk about why we want to ask that, okay? That's more of a B2B question. You wouldn't use that for B2B, B2C. It's a lead-in phrase, helps your prospect uncover more in their mind of what they truly want, and it also helps position your offer much more clear in their minds once you get to the presentation stage of the sales process with them. All right, now, as we go, I'm going to get this even better for you. I'm just giving you a little warm-up. The more people that stay here at the end, I'm just going to give you more details at the end, all right? All right, here's another lead-in phrase. Walk me through, okay? Write that down. Write that down! I'm going to go fast now. Walk me through. Walk me through is a phrase that allows your prospect to step-by-step explain how the organization makes decisions and allows you to know how to best position your company within that process and who to influence to win that account. That question you'd only use for B2B, all right? Now, or you can say, walk me through what that means. See, if they say, well, we had XYZ problem happen. Hold on, walk me through what that means. When you say blank, can you walk me through what that means? That's a clarifying question right there. Hold on, when you say blank and you repeat back the problem or issue they had, can you walk me through what that means? Okay? Can you walk me through the criteria you use to make a decision on something like this? See how that works? Can you walk me through? All right, now here's another one. This is a really good one. Describe for me, okay? That's another NEPQ lead-in phrase. Sally, can you describe for me what you possibly might be looking for to see if we could help? Can you describe for me what you're possibly looking for to see if we could help? Can you describe for me what you meant by that? Hold on, John, when you said blank, can you describe for me what you meant by that? See, that's an NEPQ clarifying question, okay? And once again, based off their answer, we're going to clarify more and probe more, which I'm going to give you some examples here in a second. All right. I'm just warming up here. Got some more here that I'm going to give you. These are actually really good, all right? Okay, here are a few more lead-in phrases. Can you unwrap that for me? Make sure you write that down. Can you unpack that for me? Can you go back a few pages for me? Okay, so let me explain that. Sally, can you unwrap that for me so I have a better understanding? John, hold on, John, you're losing me here. Unpack that for me a bit more. Okay, John, I'm not, just if you could walk back here, maybe go back a few pages for me so I can understand what you meant by that. Can you go back a few pages for me so I have a better background on when you said blank? See what you mean? Okay. Justin Wells, do you use both B2B and B2C questions when selling to small businesses coaches? Well, for small businesses, you could use some B2B. I mean, if they're just a solopreneur, it's just them, probably not. If you're more B2B with companies that are more like small cap, mid cap, large cap, or maybe businesses that have at least a couple business owners, you'd use several of the B2B questions for sure, okay? B2C, if you're just selling to like a coach, I guess that's your industry, they're more B2C. There's a little bit of a difference there for sure. All right, let's keep going. Can you go back a few pages, unpack that for me? Can you unwrap that for me? Oh, I'm just being nice to you. I'm giving you way more than I even told you I would, okay? Now, here's another NEPQ lead-in phrase. Can you explain to me, okay? Can you explain to me in more detail just so I have a better understanding? Explain to me is another NEPQ lead-in phrase that allows your prospect to elaborate more on the problem they just mentioned to you and helps them feel more of the pain of that problem, the root cause, how it's impacting on them. Then after they expand on their pain, you're going to ask the following NEPQ probing questions to help them feel it even more. Did you have something?
They're saying something about spin.
What do you mean by spin?
They're saying spin is outdated. They're saying it's a sales technique, I think.
Well, this is definitely not spin selling. I've taken 165 courses. I can assure you this is not spin selling. If you really take spin selling, you wouldn't have these lead-in phrases because it doesn't come from spin selling, period. I mean, I've read every book that they have. I've taken like 5 of their courses. They don't even talk about this. These people that are saying that probably read like half a book and they think it's something similar. It's not consultative selling. If we were practicing consultative selling, I would have made like 10% of the income I made in my 17-year sales career. I can assure you of that, whoever said that.
More than the synopsis.
Oh, I love the critics over there. They're so smart, making millions of dollars in commissions every year. What would I know? What would I know? All right, so after they say that, so I'm going to give you different examples, all right? So after they say, oh, well, this happened and this happened, okay, you're then going to ask them these type of probing questions. Hold on, wait a minute. When you said blank, how long has that been going on? So when they tell you like, oh, it's been this problem and it's caused us to feel this way and like, oh my gosh, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, and how long has that been going on for? That's an NEPQ probing question. How long is that? Hold on, how long has that been going for? Now, are you paying attention to my tonality? You don't say, how long has that been going on for, George? Tonality is important, okay? My background's human behavior. I might understand a little bit about this stuff, all right? Did anybody major in human behavior on here? Anybody? I don't see any hands. Anybody major in human behavior? Okay, I'm not understanding. All right, so hold on. How long has that been going on for? See my tonality, my feature, like my body language. Even if I'm on the phone, I'm still saying the same thing. Oh, and how long has that been going on for? Like I'm acting confused. Oh, geez, that's been going on for probably 18 months. Okay, so help me understand. You've been having the same problem for the last 18 months. Has that had a impact on you? What did I just do there? Did you hear my tone? Did you see how my body moved in to show empathy? These are things we have to learn if you want to make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year in commissions, if not more. Oh, okay, so you've been having this problem, repeat the problem back, whatever it is, okay, for the last 18 months. Has that had a impact on you? Okay, now if you're talking to a business, has that had a impact on the business? Has that had a impact on you? Notice you slow down your tone. If you said, so you've been having this problem for the last 18 months, George, has that had an impact on you? No, not really. It's all how you ask the question, okay? I can ask it 2 different ways and I'm going to get 2 different types of reaction. Okay? You can't sound like a scripted robot. Very important. All right. Now, the prospect a lot of times will say this. When you ask that, I'm going to go to the next one here. Okay? They'll be like, oh, you have no idea. Well, in what way though? See how I'm probing deeper. So this is the part here that most salespeople miss. They don't know how to, they'll ask one probing question, they'll answer it and they're like, okay. And then they're like, okay, what's next on my script to ask? Oh, well, George, let me ask you this. And they get the prospect to say surface up. They're not building enough urgency or gap because they don't know where to probe. Okay? I'm just giving you a little tip of the iceberg. I'm giving you a little golden, I'm giving you a little hors d'oeuvre today, a little nibble compared to what our clients go through in our virtual training courses and group trainings, all right? Well, hold on. In what way, though? Oh, well, in this way and that way. See, I'm helping them relive the pain even more, all right? All right, let's keep going. Got a few more things I'm going to give to you. I'm just being Mr. Nice Guy over here today.
We have one human psychology and psychophysiology person.
I love that person. That's a good person. Okay? Start to understand that, mixed in with really good sales skills that work with human behavior. You can make hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, if not more, once you learn NEPQ. All right, so let's go over the expanded probing questions, the lead-in phrases. I want you to write these down very quickly. Walk me through, I'm not practicing tonality here, walk me through what you mean by that. Tell me more about whatever that is. Tell me more, hold on, tell me more about that. Can you give me an example, okay? Can you share with me? Can you share with me? Describe for me. Now you could also say, can you describe for me? Can you share with me? Hold on, tell me more when you said, okay, now you don't want to say can you 17 times because that's going to sound like a technique. You have to mix that up, all right? Hold on, unwrap that for me. Whoa. You're losing me. Unwrap that for me so I have a better understanding. Okay, I'm not understanding. Can you unwrap that for me a little bit so I have a better background? John, I'm not understanding what you meant. Can you unwrap that for me so I have a better background on what you meant? Unwrap that for me. Did you write that down? All right, let me give you some more. Unpack that for me. So instead of unwrap, you're unpacking. Oh, Sally, can you unpack that for me a bit so I understand more? Okay? Explain to me so I know how that affects you. Can you explain that to me a bit more so I know how that affects you when that happens? Okay? Can you go back a few pages for me? John, whoa. You're losing me. You're on page 15. I'm still back on page 3. Can you go back a few pages for me? Never heard that one, have you? Okay. Can you go back a few pages for me when you said, okay? See how that works? All right. Oh, I'm being Mr. Nice Guy today. All right, let's keep going. Now, these questions, I'm going to show you a few more. These questions show your prospects that you are what? That you are there for them, that you want to hear their pain. You not only want to hear their pain, but you want them to do what? Hear their pain, because you want them to relive the experience of what the pain has done to them because they don't have the problem resolved yet. Now, what is the most intense human emotion? It's pain. Without pain, without the gap from where they are compared to where they want to be, you cannot tell them what their problems are. You cannot tell them what the gap is. Because if you do, you're biased. You're the salesperson. It's going to go in one ear, out the other. You have to ask the right questions that get them to expand the pain and tell the pain to themselves. Because if they tell themselves what's true and their pain, is that more persuasive than you telling them their problem? I think you know the answer. I would hope you know the answer by now, okay? Now, so let me clarify this. Without pulling out their pain from the prospect with NEPQ questions, your prospects will keep living that pain, doing what they've always done, staying in the status quo, never solving their problem. That's up to you as the salesperson to learn those skills so you allow them to overcome their own fears, their own issues in their mind that's holding them back from solving these problems and getting them where they want to go. And that's in any industry. We train 158 industries. According to Forbes magazine said there's 158 industries. They just came out with that. Now there's subsets of each industry. We train in all of them. So it doesn't matter what industry you're in, okay? It's all the same as long as you're selling to a human being that has problems and or emotional needs and your solution solves those, okay? Now, I'm going to give you a few more examples of what are called NEPQ clarifying and probing questions that need to be asked after the lead-in phrases in the expanded probing questions if you want to sell even more. These are very important to get your prospect to go under the surface with their answers and tell you what's really going on, okay? Because the questions help you clarify what your prospect is saying, but more importantly, it triggers your prospect to clarify their real problems and where they want to go, okay? Now, they also help you probe deeper to pull out their emotions. You're getting them into their emotional state. Tony Robbins talks a lot about that. Tony understands human behavior. If we can't get them to their emotional state, it's very hard for them to change their situation, okay? Also, I did a keynote here a week ago for a large insurance company. They had about 6,000 agents just there in that room. I think they have about 12 or 13,000 agents. And in that keynote, I said, look, all selling is change. That's all selling is. It's about change, one thing only, okay? So whether the prospect wants something new or they're moving away from pain, it's all about change. Here's your problem, though. Human beings don't like change. So all sales is change, yet human beings don't like change even though we say we do. That's what you're going up against. So if you can't get them into their emotional state, they don't want to change. They have too much fear. And that's why you get so many objections at the end. I want to think it over. Now's not a good time. I need to keep looking around. I need more quotes. I need more proposals. I need to do more research. That's exactly why, because you don't understand how to get them to their emotional state, okay? How to clarify and probe and take them through that sales process with NAPQ. Now, here's some few clarifying questions. Joey, that was awesome. Hey, there you go. Oh, Joey, you were at the keynote. Well, there you go. You must be a member of Quility. Hold on, what do you mean by that exactly? See, that's just a basic clarifying question, but very powerful. 99% of salespeople can't even ask that. Hold on, what do you mean? Oh, John, when you say blank, what did you mean by that exactly? Now, let's say they give you some type of emotional word, okay? They're like, oh, I'm so frustrated. Oh, I'm so annoyed when that happens. Oh my gosh, it causes so much stress. You can say, hold on, what do you mean by stress? Or hold on, what do you mean by annoyed? Or you can simply just repeat back the emotional word. I want you to try this. When your spouse says, oh, I'm so stressed. Stressed? Oh, you have no idea, and they're going to go off. Seriously, any type of emotional word, frustrated, stressed, concerned, annoyed, stressed, any of those words, there's a lot more emotional words. Anytime a prospect says an emotional word, I want you to repeat back that one word. Stressed? Annoyed? Frustrated? Concerned? Okay? And watch how they're like, oh my gosh, I have so much concern. Very powerful. Okay? Probing statement. All right? Hold on, when you say stress, how do you mean exactly? Just another way to do it. Or what did you mean by you feel frustrated? Hold on, what did you mean by annoyed? See, it's just other ways to do that, all right? How long has that been going on for? See, we're right back to that. Oh, hold on, stress? Oh, the stress is blah, 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 blah. Oh, how long is that going on? How long has that been going on? So so you've had the stress the last 3 months? Has that had a impact on you? See, I'm leaning in. I'm verbal pausing. If I'm like, so you've had the stress for 3 months, John, has that had an impact on you? Yeah, it's not that bad. Okay, hold on. So you've been having the stress the last 3 months. Has that had a impact on you? Oh my, see, different. It forces them to think deeper by my verbal pausing ability. All right, so here's some more clarified questions. Hold on, what's causing that issue? Can you hold on, when you say blank, what's causing the issue? What's causing this to happen, okay? What's prompting you to look into changing this now, though? Okay, but what's prompting you to look at changing this now rather than pushing it down the road like unsuccessful people would? Nobody wants to be unsuccessful. Depends on what you sell. That question you only use in certain industries. Can I ask what originally led you to this decision in the first place? Can I ask, whoa, I lost my pen. Can I ask what originally led you to that decision in the first place? Okay, but why is it important for you to look at changing this now rather than pushing it down the road? Well, Jeremy, the reason why we need to do it now is because of blah, blah, blah. See how we do that? All right. Folks, hopefully I gave you enough. I said I was going to give you 7 expanded probing questions. How many did we give them? I think I gave like 12 different expanded probing questions, lead-in phrases, NEPQ leading phrases, probing questions, clarifying questions. And that is just like the tip of the iceberg. I just gave you little nibbles, like little fish, like the little goldfish. You put in the little nibbles, they're just nibbling around. I give you the little nibbles. Now, if you're wanting to learn how to sell more of your products and services than you are now, join our free Facebook group. Go to www.salesrevolution.pro. We should have a link on here somewhere, salesrevolution.pro. Right when you join the salesrevolution.pro Facebook group, because we've got thousands of entrepreneurs in there, thousands of salespeople like you, thousands of coaches, consultants, executives in there that want to sell more. Right when you join, check your DMs, because we're going to message you. Some of my team's going to message you a free training called the NEPQ 101 mini course. It's going to give you a list of different questions and phrases you can use in any sales situation. That alone is going to help you sell more than what you're doing now. And we go live in the Facebook group about 3 to 4 times a week with different subject matter trainings, different Q&As, different client interviews that will also help you sell more. Join the Facebook group, salesrevolution.pro. See you there.